I'm sure you've avoided fights before, and that's perfectly okay, because avoiding a fight isn't something cowards do, it's something rational people do. But what happens when you can no longer avoid one? When the threat is imminent and your brain decides that diplomacy is no longer an option. Here, from one second to the next, you're no longer thinking, you're only reacting. Let's look at the science behind your first fight. Let's say you're calm, talking, walking, living, and suddenly something changes. You don't know what came first, an uncomfortable stare, someone shouting at you, or a shove you weren't expecting. But your body knows, because the hypothalamus, that small structure responsible for coordinating the chaos in your brain, sends signals that activate your fight response. Your heart speeds up to pump blood to your muscles, your pupils dilate to let in more light, and your muscles tense up to prepare for the next move. All for one single purpose, the instinct to survive. Once your body is ready, the prefrontal cortex, where reason lives, gradually begins to shut down. At this point, you're no longer there to make ethical calculations. The amygdala, the part of the brain that processes fear, also takes control. So while you're feeling intense fear, adrenaline and noradrenaline flood your system like a city square packed with protesters. You begin to hear a ringing in your ears. Your hands start to shake. And then the question appears, is there any way to avoid this? Can I talk my way out of it, run, or disappear? Sometimes the answer is no. And there you are, standing in front of someone who is literally going through the exact same thing you are. Unless they're a professional boxer who's already used to this feeling. But anyway, thanks to your brain, your surroundings narrow down until it feels like nobody else is there, and you're focused only on yourself and the other person. It literally becomes a confined space where logic goes out the window, and all that's left is muscle memory, or your instinct. If nothing changes, the movement begins. You don't know who threw the first punch. You only know that the world suddenly became fast, confusing, and that your body is acting without your permission. Your muscle memory, if you have any, kicks in. But if you've never trained in any contact sport, the only thing you'll have is instinct. And let me tell you, instinct is anything but elegant. In fact, it's pretty clumsy and desperate. Your punches won't be precise. They'll just be poorly directed electrical impulses traveling through your nerves. And there's an explanation for that. Neuroimaging studies have shown that under acute stress, the fine motor control of the primary motor cortex decreases. That's why your coordination falls apart, and you end up looking like a spaghetti noodle trying to throw punches. And sadly, you don't fight the way you do in your dreams. You become an animal just trying not to fall. And if you get hit, the pain isn't what you imagined. Some people describe the pain as something cold moving across their skin, a dull sensation, as if something simply isn't working properly. But what you don't know is that your body hasn't actually registered that pain yet. Adrenaline, being a powerful natural painkiller, prevents you from feeling the pain in that moment. But afterward, that's another story. When it's all over, there's no victory and no one celebrating you, because this is when your body begins processing what just happened. Your adrenaline starts to wear off. Your hands begin to tremble, and of course, the pain arrives. Along with it comes awareness. The prefrontal cortex starts waking up again, and you begin asking yourself these questions. What did I do? What did I do to the other person? What consequences are coming? This also happens because of cortisol, the hormone that helped you survive earlier. But now it sends you the bill in the form of anxiety, inflammation, and insomnia. And I think the hardest part isn't the physical pain, but the mental process after a fight. And even if you won, let me tell you, that doesn't mean it was a victory, because it's been proven that violence can change you. It leaves a mark on you and can shake your entire life. So if you can walk one more block, take one step back, or simply choose not to respond, because it's harder not to fight than it is to fight. And that, ironically, is what makes you stronger.